There we go, you got it! Yeah!
Mike Tyson has just tarnished his legendary reputation, trading it for ridicule. And no, this isn't an exaggeration. If you haven't heard, he was recently caught partying with none other than Jake Paul at Donald Trump's inauguration. Yes, that Jake Paul, the one he once openly despised. Remember when he said,
Gonna knock him out? I think I'm gonna hurt him, yeah.
Now fans are left grappling with broken trust. For a year, these two staged a fake rivalry, manipulating our emotions like puppets, only to reveal it was all an act by partying together and pulling this shocking stunt. The clip of Jake Paul hoisting Mike Tyson onto his shoulders like a gym buddy sent shockwaves across the internet, but not in a good way. Tagging Tyson as his best friend on Instagram. Spare us. The betrayal cuts deep, and the more we think about it, the shadier their motives seem. Tyson and Paul have officially earned the title of Scammers of the Decade, leaving fans feeling deceived and scared for life.
Rigged, because many people bet a lot of money and they lost a lot of money.
What do you get when a boxing legend trades punches with a YouTube troll and ends it all at a presidential circus hosted by Donald Trump? The biggest joke of the century. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, and Trump in the same room feels less like news and more like the setup to a bad joke no one asked for or wants to hear.
Reason only, and that is the money. He's getting paid so much money to do this. So that tells me he's getting bought. So again, it is sad that someone like my...
Let's break down this fiasco and see how Tyson and Paul turned boxing into a cringe-worthy Netflix comedy. It all started with the so-called boxing match. Tyson, once the most feared man in the ring, versus Jake Paul, a guy whose deadliest weapon is his Wi-Fi connection. The showdown took place at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, a venue known for hosting true legends. Now reduced to a reality TV set, the result? Paul, the human embodiment of a YouTube comment section, somehow walked away with the unanimous decision. Meanwhile, Tyson looked more bewildered than focused, spending more time confused than landing punches. Totally believable, right? Sure, if this were scripted.
Tyson fight.
Interesting.
Script. How so? What do you mean by
It's just
script?
weird. Just
Like scripted in what way?
no, I don't know. I actually really like Jake Paul. It just seems so. It's odd, bro.
The timing, it's a timing.
I mean,
He
it's
fights
obviously
two-
odd.
No, he fights two no names.
Tyson, bless his heart, hiked the fight with bold words.
has spoken. The fight was scripted. Everyone is talking about this on X, and the script was actually leaked on X.
I'm going to hurt this young man, Tyson declared boldly, ironic, considering he spent the match getting jabbed by a guy who made his name yelling into a camera about pranks. Meanwhile, Paul vowed to knock out Tyson, proving that delusion might just be his secret weapon. The whole spectacle felt less like a boxing match and more like two middle schoolers arguing in gym class, except with millions of dollars on the line. Then came the weigh-in, peak absurdity. Paul accidentally stepped on Tyson's foot, earning a slap so weak it felt like it was choreographed by a high school drama teacher.
Little elf, Mike Tyson, I thought that was a cute slap, buddy, but tomorrow you're getting knocked the fuck out. I'm f***ing him up, Burial. I'm f***ing him up. He hits like a It's personal now. It's personal now. He must die.
Tyson's iconic death stare made a brief appearance, but Paul's profanity-laced meltdown stole the show, resembling a toddler's tantrum at Target. By the time the bell rang, it was clear this wasn't about boxing. It was a full-blown circus act, the real competition, seeing who could deliver the most over-the-top performance in this farce.
And it's just an honor to be able to fight him. And he's obviously the toughest, baddest man on the planet. So it was really tough, like I expected it.
But wait, it gets worse. After their so-called epic battle, where did these supposed mortal enemies go? Trump's inauguration party, of course, because nothing screams credible athlete like schmoozing at a political rally turned frat party. Tyson and Paul were spotted laughing, clinking glasses, and posing for Instagram like long-lost BFFs. The piece de resistance. A photo of Jake Paul hoisting Tyson onto his shoulders like a victorious gladiator. Tyson, fist raised, looked less like a heavyweight legend and more like a dad embarrassing himself at a family barbecue. Naturally, Paul, ever hungry for clout, captioned the photo "Best Friends" and tagged Tyson. A scripted fight magically turned them into best buds. Nothing says brutal rivalry quite like playing frat bros at a Washington shindig. Honestly, it's almost impressive how fast they went from "I hate you" to "let's hang out." The bad blood? Faker than Paul's boxing credentials.
Of Jake Paul, the boxer.
A very good fighter.
You think he deserves respect from the public?
Absolutely.
Hey, that was a good slap. I like that.
Here's where it really hurts. The fans, bless their hopeful hearts, bought into the whole act. They believed the trash talk, the fake animosity, the scripted drama. And what did they get? A pair of millionaires laughing all the way to the bank. It's being called the heist of the century, and honestly, that might be too kind. Tyson and Paul should be best friends after pulling off this classic con. They didn't just embarrass themselves. They spat in the face of boxing's integrity.
Basically. I don't have the stomach for this kind of no more. I'm more conscious of my children and those guys looking at my parents. I don't have that ferocity. I'm not an animal anymore.
Does that mean we won't see you?
$60 million. That's how much the so-called Netflix boxing spectacle raked in. Now better known as the $60 million heist. And honestly, calling it a heist doesn't even do it justice. Jake Paul, humanity's least requested experiment in boxing, walked away with a staggering $40 million. Meanwhile, Mike Tyson, the once unstoppable force in the heavyweight division, settled for a paltry $20 million. $60 million for what? A glorified sparring session dressed up as a sporting event. Fans have dubbed it the heist of the century, and for once, the internet got it right.
Mike Tyson, it's such an honor. Let's give it up for Mike, bro. He's a legend. He's the greatest to ever do it.
Tyson and Paul didn't just sell tickets, they sold a fantasy. Tyson's larger-than-life reputation and Paul's talent for stirring up internet chaos fused into a marketing Frankenstein that could have sold ice to a polar bear. Fans flocked to their screens, expecting blood, sweat, and the sweet satisfaction of Tyson teaching Paul a hard lesson. Instead, they got a bizarre mix of WWE theatrics and YouTube drama, with just enough boxing sprinkled in to legally call it a fight. And the backlash. It was glorious. Social media exploded with fans who felt pickpocketed while smiling for the cameras. Comments like "they played us for millions" and "rich fight equals money and friendship" were tame in comparison. Even those who illegally streamed the fight, the ones who didn't pay a dime, felt scammed. When the freeloaders are furious, you know you've reached a new level of con artistry. But don't worry, Jake Paul's glorified PR team, MVP Promotions, was ready with damage control. They released a statement claiming that rigging a professional boxing match is a federal crime. Oh, fantastic! Because reminding people that rigging is illegal somehow proves you didn't do it. That's like saying, "I can't be a thief. Stealing is against the law."
Hangman, it's a different thing with that guy.
Well, it's like Matt always says, play to your strengths.
Yeah,
no
but you
doubt.
know, you got to take that payday. I mean, what did he make out of that fight? He probably made $10 million.
Yeah, and Jake Paul's very smart, man. Like he gets guys that he's bigger,
Bigger
than.
than,
He's,
younger
the only time
than.
he fought another boxer his size was
He
Tom
lost.
Fury, and he lost. Tom Fury?
Good
Yeah.
fight.
Tommy Fury.
Very
Tommy
good
Fury.
fight. Very good fight. You know, I think he's like any other young up-and-coming boxer. It's just everybody dismisses him.
And if you thought Jake Paul was going to take his ill-gotten millions and fade into obscurity, think again. The guy's already plotting his next circus act. He's got a list of opponents that reads like a Combat Sports Hall of Fame roster. Floyd Mayweather Jr., Ryan Garcia, and even UFC powerhouse Alex Pereira. Yes, you've heard that right. The same guy who spent 12 rounds avoiding punches from a 57-year-old thinks he's ready for the big leagues. Honestly, the audacity is impressive. Someone give this man a trophy for the most delusional athlete of the decade.
Oh, you got it! Yeah!
But let's not overlook the comedic genius of Jake Paul's antics. This is the same guy who turned stepping on Tyson's foot into a viral moment, the same guy who slapped a boxing legend like he was auditioning for a soap opera. Maybe next, he'll challenge a bear to a fight or take on a squirrel in a backyard showdown. Jake Paul doesn't do boxing. He does performance art. It's a circus, and unfortunately, we're all guilty of buying tickets to the freak show.